this one is on negative entities and how we pick them up. I think that I didn't used to be a massive believer in negative entities. I just used to think that, I don't know, I just didn't really believe in all that stuff. I knew that there was obviously not nice energy, but I just thought it was things that were in us, which I do still believe to some extent, but there is no denying that things attach onto us sometimes from other people, and the more we heal, the more we clear, the more empathic we become, and the more of a sponge we are for picking up these things. So we do have to be careful. Part of it's also connected to self-love, which this whole journey is all about. It's about learning to have self-love and boundaries. I mean, even Jesus and God have boundaries. You know, they unconditionally forgive, sure, but they don't just sit around and tolerate any old behavior against them. You know, in any of the Bible, it's that they forgive unconditionally, but they do have self-love and boundaries. And that's what we're here to do as well. We're here to step into that energy, that Christ consciousness energy, which is definitely about unconditional forgiveness, but it's also about unconditional love of self, which does include looking after our own energy field. So that is very important. And when we speak to people and we have a reading or a coaching session or watch a YouTube video, it's really important to start picking up where this information is coming from. Because the thing with negative energy and negs is they do have a good access to information, so what they tell you is probably really accurate, and it's like, wow, you know, how did they know that? And then that keeps you hooked into the whole cycle of thinking, wow, this is so good, like this has to be from the light, and you know, I'll keep coming back. And even though you feel tired or drained or disempowered, because the information is so good, it keeps you hooked into coming back. So I think it's super important that we learn to differentiate our feelings and go into our feelings over anything else, because actually what we hear physically is nothing like the power of what we have to feel into situations, and that's what matters. Even if you're told something you don't want to hear, or a lot of stuff is brought up and you cry, you should still leave a session, watching a video, watching a healing, having a psychic reading. You should leave them feeling more empowered than you went in, lighter and clearer. Even if you're upset or you cried or you cleared something, you should come out feeling lighter and more empowered. So let your feelings be a basis for what the energy is like that you're receiving, rather than the words or the truth or the clarity, because like I said, that can be very good, because negs can also get their information right and from those sources, but they're just also feeding on you and draining you at the same time. So try to be more aware of how you're feeling when you have these things, and make sure that when you have something that you're guided to, that you leave feeling more empowered than you went in, lighter than you went in, and just generally, I mean, you might not feel more energized straight after, you might be tired, but you will generally feel more energized from it. You won't then go into a period of lethargy for ages afterwards. You know, you might be a bit tired that night and have a sleep, but then you should wake up clearer, not to feel drained, lethargic, and like you've literally had the life force drained out of you, because that is what happens when you go to people that sort of attach negative energy onto you. Now, those people that do it aren't necessarily all bad. Some of them don't even realize they're carrying negative energy. So that's where you need to use your feelings as a guidance as to what the energy you're picking up is. So just bear that in mind when you go and have sessions, you listen to things. Just let your energy be a guidance more than what you hear. And if you do feel you've picked something up, then I'll try and link in a good clearing that I think is good anyway at the bottom of this link.